shape, color, density. These are the markers of true fashion. Leather chest, leather arms, leather belt, leather boots, sad child helmet. I present Crybaby Chic. Oh, he's got a knife! Ladies, gentlemen, and monsters of all ages, when it comes to Monster Hunter as a series, one of the most important parts of it all, the entire point of it all, really, is fashion above all else. What good is hunting monsters if you don't look good while you're doing it? We here at Rage Gaming Videos take great pride in our fashion sets. It's one of the great joys of Monster Hunter, and today we want to start sharing and spreading that joy around, as this marks the beginning of our weekly fashion show. Timeline not legally binding. There will be a link in the description of the video or pinned to the comments with a form to submit your own entries and have a chance to show up in future parts of this series, showing off your coolest, most badass, or just your silliest outfits, whatever you deem worthy of being looked at, and we'll choose from them. We'll look at every single one that gets submitted, and each week we will pick a selection of what we think are worth talking about and sharing, in particular what we really like. No real rules here, just make sure to follow the instructions on the form and include your name or a hunter name or something if you want to be shouted out for the set. Housekeeping out of the way then, let's dive into today's show, and as this is the first episode for Monster Hunter Wilds, I thought it would be fun to start by showing you all one of my own sets, which I dub Frogpunk. This uses Chotacabra helmet and legs, along with duna chest piece, artian gauntlets, and then the leather waist. I made this from a mix of wanting to use Chotacabra armor, as it will always have Chotacabra skin color no matter how you pigment it, and I really do like the shape of the legs of the helmet at least, and then knowing that this would be green, I also wanted it to just flexibly look decent with artian weapons in general, as artian weapons are very commonly used in a lot of endgame builds, and I get tired of my color scheme not matching my weapon every once in a while, so this makes up for that in my opinion. Generally speaking, the duna chest is pretty universal, so I quite like the way that it pulls the set together. I'm a big fan of it. I feel like it works to amplify the other armor pieces quite well, and then of course we've also got the artian gauntlets in there to sort of mix the actual robot aesthetic into our armor, so it's not just the weapon, and it sort of gradually changes as we go through. Mostly just chosen to try and blend artian and Chotacabra together into one set that I'm actually quite happy with. So now you get an idea of how this will all go. Yeah, with that said, the standard procedure will be a list of the top 5 fashion sets submitted for the week, chosen from my own particular taste for this first week at the very least, and I'll show how the sets are made, what I like about them, and why I chose them. We will also have a bonus entry specifically for cosplays, the best cosplay submitted each week, as you can achieve some really impressive cosplays in Monster Hunter Wilds, especially with the complexity of the character creator. So top 5 general fashion sets, number 1 cosplay set of the week, and then we'll have something fun from either myself or Josh near the end of each of these, depending on who is hosting the video. That said, let's move on and begin with number 5, the Edgelord Hunter, submitted by Mad Oz. This uses a lovely combination of the duna chest piece, which I always am a fan of, the leather gloves, the gore magala waist, and then also the Ray Dow greaves. And while it is heavily infused with black as the main color, there is a clear focus on that bright purpley blue as well, almost frenzy-like in the color really, and this also uses the Dragon King eye patch just to lean a little bit more into the edgy nature of it. This one is relatively simple, but in a good way, of course. Simple's not a bad thing, even taking advantage of the undershirt mechanic as part of the actual aesthetics of the set too, making it look like there is even more color connection between the arms and the chest than there otherwise would be. Just a nice solid set to get us started out here. Next up in 4th place, submitted by Tails Boom, is the Unbound Blade fashion set. This is going to be our first set shown using the battle armor chest piece, and this is another one of those that has an absolute ton of potential as a fashion set anchor. It perfectly melds together a few different aesthetic ideas, and that makes it a great centerpiece for making multiple monster set works together around it. In this first example, provided with some absolutely cracking background shots and footage, by the way, I'd like to mention, this player is using again the Dragon King eye patch for the helmet, but then the battle armor chest piece, Dashagama gauntlets dyed white to match the fur, arkveld waist, which naturally fits especially with the color scheme here too, and then ingot legs with a perfectly matching dye for the rest of the metals on the set. This gives the vibes of seasoned, battle-hardened hunter out on the frosty wilderness, well padded and protected from harm, but also the cold, somewhat camouflaged in colder areas, and with using it with the rugged look of the wyvern jawblade greatsword as well is a perfect combo too. For the most part, I just really appreciate the way they've melded together different armor sets together here, and while Dragon King eye patch is a bit of an easy helmet choice to match with nearly everything, there are still some extra bonus points here for a fashion set that uses pieces from 5 separate armor sets. Moving on to our third place set, we have Ophelia, submitted by Shradnown. First up, abs. Always a bonus, of course, gotta get extra points for that, but this is a very solid mixing of different sets and lookalike fabrics into something that works just extremely well as a full set, especially with the armor pigment work to make it all match as well. This uses the new expedition earring, the Shuwu chest piece, which is another chest piece that I'm a massive fan of personally, the death stench arms, the Suja waist for the nice cloth piece here to match with the flaying cloth on the arms, while also having those cool sheathed blades, and then the commission greaves to finish it all off. I love the matching of the different fabrics here. The color matching is quite well done too, and it gets those bonus points for being pieces from 5 different sets once again as well, and I think a little bit of bonus for actually using the earring for part of the aesthetic too. That said, sometimes the set goes together so well it can be impressive even with multiple pieces of the same set, because in second place from Meatball 0407 we have the Violet Scale set. This uses the female gore magala helmet for the horns on the top, the Lala Barina chest with its dark scaly leatherwork, the gore magala arms, and then the female arkveld waist colored to fit the sort of black and purple color scheme of the set and of gore magala in general really, and then the gore magala pants popping out from underneath. Despite having 3 pieces of gore magala armor, the dominant pieces in this are by far the chest piece and the waist, and I think you could arguably make these 2 pieces work even with no gore magala pieces around them. You could even probably make the colors different and make that work too. I just think it is a fantastic combination when used with this dark color scheme here, and then just using the gore pieces as little accents, just the gloves, just a pair of horns, just the pointy boot sticking out underneath the waist. It makes it feel exceptionally gore magala-y, even with, again, the 2 main pieces of visible armor not being from gore magala in the slightest. I think it's really cool that it makes it feel that way. Before we move on to our number 1 spot, let's stop off for a quick break with our cosplay winner of the week, ya boy Mac, with this Warhammer 40k Space Marine from the Dark Angel chapter specifically. For reference, here is the original look of this character and the aesthetic for a Dark Angel Space Marine, and then here's the actual character they've made themselves with the armor set on them. And I really like the creative use of the Gypsaros chest to give that feeling of specifically chest and shoulder bulkiness here, but still rounding down to a slightly sleeker waist in the middle like Space Marine armor actually does. And the use of the Shuwu hood combined with the sort of neck plate on the chest works great. They could maybe even make their eyes have like glowing red makeup on in the actual character creator if they really wanted to sell it just that little bit further. And then of course the ingot coil in the middle tying it together too, and then just the perfect metallic green color that they've chosen for this matches it perfectly as well. Then our winner, our proper winner for the first week, henceforth known as Fashion Master 1000, is the pickle. And yes, it is just a vertical slice for the actual video they submitted, but yet it radiates so much drip. It had to go in the number 1 slot. There's just no way around it as far as I'm concerned. This entry did not come with a name for the submission, so if they don't mind my input here, I'd like to christen it the Demon Queen. This fantastic set once again uses multiple gore magala pieces, this time with a bit more of a focal point on the main gore aesthetic, using the waist itself as a major part of it, but this very creatively uses the depth of the character creator to make a full-on demonic hunter. Red skin, and then the very Dao helm to match the skin color for a pair of horns, and pointy ears as well is a really good maneuver to make it fit here. And then the Guardian Rathalos chest piece with that color scheme on it too is incredible for a demon character. It fits perfectly, glowing with what now looks like a demonic energy with the color they've chosen, matching the actual character perfectly. This blends then with the glowing on the underside of the gore magala waist as well, which is lovely, as well as on the inner arms as part of the gore magala gauntlets too. Then they've actually got Guardian Ebony Odogaron legs hiding underneath there, which is a very aesthetically pleasing combination that is quite understated and subtle as well, considering that it's hidden under the heavy coverage of the massiveness that is gore waist. I just love the ingenuity on this one, using the whole of the character creation to blend into the fashion choices they've made. The mix of multiple different glowing armor pieces from different glowing sets, and just the right color hue choices to match it too. And this is the type of thing that I'm definitely excited to see more of in Wild specifically, and just to show the difference the character creation part of this actually makes here for anyone wondering, it is slightly less cool when I put it on my character, so you know, actually having the red skin and the matching aesthetic as a base probably helps just a little bit. And now with it, was that a metal pipe?
So while, as we all know, I've objectively won fashion hunters with this, my first and best fashion set in the game, today let me present Shuwu Waist 2 ways. First and foremost, armored, knightly, golden, a bit blue, which isn't as great as it could be, but you can't change the bloody blue on the belt. But anyway, behold, slack-jawed at its magnificence, its glow, its glory. But if you're after something just a little bit sexier, well then let me present Shoe Woo Waist Blanco Edition. Yes, little bit of new udra. Ooh, even my front hair strand. It's very excited to see you. Let me just calm that down. Oh yes, even a little bit of duna arms to really set it off. Gold, gorgeous, and fit for a god or goddess or whatever deity you aspire to be. And it comes in a more cotton-friendly palette, which I do think is pretty damn swish, if I had to say so myself. So yeah, that's my fashion. I hope you like it, guys. I've got a lot more if you'd like to see them. Thanks for putting me on the show, Cotton. I really appreciate this opportunity. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Jokes aside, though, I do really like Josh's sets. I think he's done a great job here. And, of course, you'll probably be seeing some of my own fashion goodness next time when he hosts the video. And that just about does it for today, then, everyone. Your first week of the Monster Hunter Wilds fashion show. Let us know your thoughts on any of these sets down in the comments below. And, of course, submit your own entries through the link down there, too. Like if you liked the video, subscribe to the notification bell for more. And most importantly, ladies and gentlemen, until next time, stay chic.
Josh, Cotton, and Hollow with the videos, dropping the humor like a hammer on your tippy toes, bringing entertainment on a daily arrangement to take our insanity and turn it into entertainment. Yes, I said entertainment twice, to reiterate that it is nice to look into your faces on a mostly daily basis when you let us in your homes to make the whole world a stage. Goodbye.